Hey guys, what is up? Torn Shadow here, and today we are doing a review on the T34/100, and I just got through the painful grind of this tank stock. I mean, this tank is literal shit as stock. I mean, it's not like normal shit. It's like shit on a sandwich that you're forced to eat. That is how bad this tank stock is. Also, it's so bad. Like, it is literally the epitome of shit, this tank stock. It literally gets worse penetration than the tier 6 stock. I mean, look at this gun. This gun should not even, like, exist. Whoever designed this gun is an idiot. 126 penetration and 160 damage on a tier 7 tank. How am I supposed to fight tier 9s with this? Like, seriously. I mean, I know that you're supposed to save up free XP, but you know, when you're that excited to get a new tank, I thought this tank was going to be amazing, looking over the gun, but no, this, I didn't realize that this tank stock is literal trash. Like, I regret, like, trying to play this stock. Like, I really just wish that I didn't have to play this stock. This tank is literal shit. But, now that we're past the stock part of this tank, we are actually going to get into the actual stats of this tank. So, first off, the biggest problem with this tank is the elevation angles. I mean, it's perfect. You can elevate up to 20 meters up in the air. That is amazing. But 5 degrees of gun depression. 5 degrees, guys. That is like almost I think that is Borsig level. Yeah, that is literal Borsig level of terrible gun depression. I mean, the Borsig has terrible gun depression, but having the same on a medium tank is even terrible. I mean, this tank literally feels like it's got 1 degree of gun depression, like 0 degrees even. That's how bad the gun depression on this tank is. I mean, you have to play around it. You can't go on any hills, even slight ones. There's no way you're going to shoot over. And then, okay. Now, everything else isn't that bad. The armor on this tank, haul down, you're pretty good. I mean, I've gotten a lot of bounces off the turret. Just, the mantlet is kind of terrible, guys. I mean, I've gotten shot through by T29s in the mantlet, so that's about roughly where it is. As long as you don't get shot, like, on a flat part of your turret, you should be fine. You do get a lot of bounces off your turret. Hull armor, though, it's not even used trying to block with your hull armor. It's just going to go in. I mean, 45, that's really easy to pen unless you're, like, side-scraping. I haven't got a successful side-scraping map for this tank yet. But I'm pretty sure that it would be a really good side-scraping tank. It's got 45 at tier 7. That's not bad, but it's not really good at all. Turret armor's good, as I said again. The actual turret doesn't actually give you any extra armor, sadly. It stays the same. You get extra traverse speed and a little bit extra view range, but you do get an extra 100 HP. At tier 7, that's not a big deal. You're still going to die in 3 shots from a T29. Now, the gun that is the top gun on this is not that good. It's also not that bad. It is a better Chinese tier 7 gun than the one that's on the Chinese tier 7. But it's got the second highest penetration and the second highest damage. But it's got a pretty good combo for both. It's really inaccurate. I haven't noticed it yet, though, and the aim time is ridiculously long. But basically, this tank has been a big letdown because of the depression. The first thing I realized was the depression. Like, it is ridiculously bad. But since we are doing a review, I feel like I do have to play a game for you guys just to show you that this tank isn't all that bad. So I will see you guys in the gameplay. Okay guys, we are back in the countdown phase. And now there was something that I did forget to mention in the garage, and that is very important to this tank, and that is that it only has 30 bullets. Well, 30 shells. And I don't really equip heat in here because at tier 7, I think 175 penetration is about pretty good. It's T25/2 level. I mean, that tank isn't the best, but I do like the 175 penetration. So I would suggest basically playing this like a light tank, unless you can get in a hold down position. because this tank's hull armor is terrible. I mean, unless you can get a side scraping, the angling is good, but with only 45, you're still gonna get penned if you're angling it. The angling on the base is pretty good, but with 45, it's not gonna help you at all. And if you angle like at a 45-degree angle like this, I don't know how well that's gonna do for you because it's only 45, and then with the basic angling, it goes up a little bit, and then angling like this. But with tanks having 175 penetration, like at least, and then you face tier 8s and tier 9s, it's not really gonna help you at all. So unless you can get in a hold on position, it's not gonna really help you. And then this is what I mean by terrible. Look at this, the terrible gun depression. You can't even play hills. I mean, you're gonna have to like weirdly angle yourself across the hill to be able to even like slightly peek over. Look at that. We're going up a little bit of the littlest slope, and we can't get over the side of the hill. And that is my biggest pet peeve with this tank, and I just hate tanks with terrible gun depression. That's why I stopped before I got to the bore stick, because I realized it only had 5 degrees of gun depression. And I was not smart enough to check if this tank had good gun depression, so that I'm kind of disappointed, but you know what? We'll get through this. Now, secondly, this tank, it does make a good support. The 250 damage is pretty good for a medium tank. It's not heavy tank level, but at tier 7, this tank is pretty good at supporting heavy tanks. You just got to make sure that you let them tank for you. There we go. We get a high roll on the T34, and then we take a shot. So that went. I'm not sure where that went in yet. Don't think it went into the mantlet. That looks like a normal hole. Don't actually know where that went in, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, the armor on this thing is basically useless. So is the gun depression, but I'm gonna stop talking about that because it's so annoying. Fire clutch shot, and we do get lucky with the clutch shot. Now we're at 300 damage. This is good. Hopefully, we're gonna be able to get some shots into the STA for our team. Or actually, no, we're gonna hopefully get a shot. Nope, no shot into the artillery. So basically, yeah, look at this. It's got great elevation. That's a pretty good elevation angle. And we take a shot from the SDA. Gotta put our gunner back in because our accuracy's already bad enough. We don't want to get shotgun, and we don't have the gun depression to peek down there, especially on that little hill. Nope, we don't get to put a shot into the SDA. Sadly, we're at half health, 1000 HP. I'm liking the big amount of hit points that we do get. It's a big upgrade from the Skoda T25. And the thing about this is it plays a lot like the Tier 3 versus Tier 4 in this line. It is kind of a downgrade from the Tier 5. I'm at Tier 6, sorry. I do feel like it's a downgrade, especially this thing stock. I mean, I don't know if I said it enough, but this tank stock is utter shit. It's really that bad. Oh yeah, we should probably cap, or look at that cluster up there, guys. Right there. There's so many tanks right there. But yeah, I feel like this tank is a downgrade from the Skoda T25. You do get a lot more bounces in this though, which is good to feel. Not taking a shot every time. But it's basically along the turret is where you're going to get all the bounces from. The armor isn't that bad, but it's not good either. So basically, my rating on this tank, I think it's a pretty good tank. I mean, there's no huge downside to it, other than this thing is literally made out of gas tanks. I mean, look at the back. It's like they used gas tanks for armor platings. Now, when we get back to the garage, I will show you what I mean. So what I was saying about this thing being made out of gas tanks, look at the back. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gas tanks And you can be literally lit on fire from here to here, to the back of the tank, to here, I think right here too, but that'll probably knock out your engine. From here to here, and then here. That is literally all gas tanks that will catch on fire and burn your ass. I mean, how the Skoda T34 and 25 were made out of ammo racks, which were a lot more dangerous because you could get literally one shot. This thing is made out of fire. Like, they literally stock these things on like armor plating. It's ridiculous. So, basically, this tank is a good tier 7 medium tank. Basically, like the tier 4, it's a downgrade from the tier before it. But with 250 base damage, alpha damage, sorry, it's not really that bad. I think it'll be an easy grind to the rest, all the way up to the tier 8. And that's where we'll see the TVP UTC, I think. Sorry, VTU. I know what I'm talking about. But, so that is my review of the I don't even know how to say that, T34/100. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see me sucking at more games. And guys, thank you for watching and have a good night.